Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Carrie Gaither, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about setting your goals and having your eye on a very specific goal. So if you joined me in the last episode, we talked about tracking, and also not just tracking after the fact, but also planning ahead, writing things down, planning how your day is going to go, planning out your schedule, and then aiming to stick to it as best as possible. For example, in our monthly planner in Compass Club, we have a nice big area where you can write out your schedule. Personally, I like to chunk out my time. I like to say, okay, from this time to this time is, I'm going to do X. I'm going to go walking. From this time to this time, I'm going to work on this. And then I also like to sort of preemptively say, okay, I'm going to aim for this. And then again, me personally, I like to then take a highlighter and highlight off things that went right, things that went wrong. In my to-do list, I like to write it all down and then highlight it off, check it off, cross it off. It's just so satisfying when you get to say, check, give yourself that little mental pat on the back, that little gold star. So another thing that happens when you sit down and you pre-plan and you set yourself up with a mental, okay, here's my goal, here's what I'm aiming for, whether it's gonna all happen or not, it's still going to help you get things done faster and easier because you have instructions. Think about when back in school, the teacher would say, okay, so this time you can write your paper on anything at all. You choose, sky's the limit. I remember feeling completely frozen, and at first I would always get excited. Oh, this is so much easier. I get to do anything. But then it just felt completely overwhelming. It was just too broad. There was too many options. Every time I would go to sit down and think of something that I wanted to do, I would think of 5 other things like, oh, well, what about this? What about that? Which one's better? And then I'm sitting there weighing which one could be a better option. And meanwhile, the assignment could have been ridiculously rigid, something so specific. And because you have those parameters, those boundaries are in place that keep you in one particular direction, I always find it so much easier to go further, to do better, to actually accomplish, being creative within the space of that particular box, rather than spending all of my time and energy spinning in circles saying, okay, let me do this topic. Oh, wait, but could I do a better job on that topic? Oh, wait, but maybe that topic has, more research available to me. And it just takes all of those questions out of the mix. It makes it so simple and it puts you in the right direction. So just choosing your direction beforehand and guiding yourself a little bit by putting up those bumpers can help you actually make so much more progress. So I want to give an example. So when I was in college, we had this seminar. I don't remember exactly what it was about, but we all gathered together and there was this speaker. And he brought somebody up. He asked for a volunteer. This girl came up and he said he had a piece of paper taped way up high on the wall. And he said to her, he handed her a marker and said, here, I want you to jump as high as you possibly can. Just give it the biggest, highest, best, most amazing leap you've ever given in your whole life. And I want you to make a mark on that paper. And he even, I think, gave her 3 tries. Like, here, do your best out of 3 and tell me when you think you've absolutely reached the highest you can ever jump. So she jumped up, she made a mark on the paper. Again, I think she might have done it 3 times. And he asked her, he said, is that the highest you can jump? Have you done your absolute best? She said, yes, absolutely. So then he pulls out his wallet. He takes out a 20. He goes right above the mark that she had just made, and he taped the 20 above it. Then he says to her, okay, now if you can jump slightly higher and you can actually make a mark where that 20 is, that 20 belongs to you. She didn't hesitate. She jumped right up. She marked right where the 20 was. She got the 20. It was hers to keep. Now, didn't she swear that the previous jump was the highest she could ever jump? Yes. then again, the sky was the limit right there. She didn't really have parameters or a very specific set goal to aim at in that first situation. So without having context, sometimes it can be more difficult to actually make progress. But when she had her eye on that prize, when she saw that 20 and knew what the goal was and specifically knew where she was aiming and was able to more laser focus target her energy, suddenly she was able to jump higher. Also, it's a matter of incentive. She was more incentivized to jump higher that time, again, also aiming laser focused on a specific goal, than she was the first time. So, I think that if you make sure to use your planner, use your tracking tools, sit down and measure out your plan, your goal, give yourself that $20 to aim at, to head towards, maybe you won't reach it. But I guarantee you'll get a little further than if you had just left your day wide open to interpretation and said to yourself, okay, I'm just going to do my best. Give yourself some parameters, give yourself some specific instructions, and make life easier on yourself. It's just simpler. And we will also utilize that story and talk a little bit about incentivizing yourself in one of the next upcoming episodes. So today I want you to think through what's going to be that 20, what's going to be that carrot that's going to motivate you to the next step. What is that laser focused plan that you're going to set for yourself, and which parameters are you going to help organize around your day to keep you honed in, dialed in, and ready to make progress? I look forward to hearing more about it. If you want to share, please jump into the Facebook group and chat with me. I would love to hear about what you're doing, help you out if you're having troubles, and I hope that everything goes great for you today, and have a wonderful day. Keep smiling, keep moving, keep working hard, and enjoy those waves. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'm Carrie Gaither.